Okay, and I usually give it a couple of seconds and then, hi. We are live. It is Monday, the week of Thanksgiving, the week of remembering, to be thankful for everybody and everything that we have in our lives, no matter how small. And I'm just going to start right out first with I am so grateful for Nancy. I'm so grateful for Karen. I'm so grateful for my YouTube family, everybody that's here, and
Oh,
Kristen, and everybody else that will be popping up. You're so loved and appreciated beyond measure. So, this week, with it being Thanksgiving, we kind of want to focus on the idea of gratitude and the goddess and the abundance. And Karen and I were talking earlier last week, and she was mentioning, yep, Mercury Retrograde is coming up. But then she said, it's all about balancing the masculine, the feminine, the sun and the moon with this. And I thought, oh, how perfect. And she was feeling better. So we're glad you're feeling better, my dear, you and the little ones,
me
and
too.
that you're able to
Thank you.
join us. So
When
welcome.
children are young, they catch everything. They're like germ magnets.
Little petri dishes.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Like the hand, foot, mouth they got, literally, like when you think about why they call it that, it's because, they're touching everything. I see them put their feet in their mouth because they can still kind of do that.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then you touch. And I was explaining to my son, I was like, look,
Yeah.
watch where she's touching. Then think about the, hand, foot, mouth.
I
It's
was
like
like,
sticking it all right
ooh.
in. So yeah, so that's what, the young ones get it so easily. I mean, it's very contagious and they get these little bumps all over. Um,
Aw.
Luckily ours was mild, but my son got it again at
Oh
8
my goodness.
too. Yeah.
We have somebody that rents the house next door to us, and they have 4 children. And the little girl, when oh gosh,
Wow.
this was years ago, she came out of the house and her head was shaved. And she looked over at me, and I just waved to her, and she said, "I had lice."
My goodness.
I mean,
Thank
I
you.
got
So
out of
honest.
I'll
school.
tell
Yeah.
you,
Oh
I don't know
So
how,
honest.
but with 3 children, we avoided that. And I mean, it was at times it's rampant in schools.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That
It's happened to
absolutely.
me.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
It's an awful thing to
Absolutely.
have, but yeah, it's almost like a passage.
Yeah.
And waiting for us is Kristen Louise. Hello, my dear. She was my guest last week, and we talked about Lilith and her spiritual journey. So thank you for joining us again. Rushed through my chore so I could be here. Aw,
I'm sorry
Oh,
poor
I missed it,
Kristen.
hi,
Kristen, but
Kristen.
I felt lousy.
Yeah, Miss
You
Nancy
weren't
was
feeling good
feeling a
either?
little under the
Mm.
weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
Ange is
had the
here.
icky poos. I don't know. I just felt terrible, achy. And my mother used to call it broken bone fever.
Ooh, I like the
Just
icky
ache
poos
all
better.
over.
Right?
And Ange is here. Hello, my dear. And
Okay.
while we have Ange up here, do you and Ange have you have a charm show coming up this week, don't you, with a special guest,
Yeah, with at the More Intuitive Me, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth? So
Ooh.
Yeah,
everyone
yeah. So
watching on
Wednesday,
Facebook playback, yeah.
yeah, and we're simulcasting on our channels. So any one of us, you can join on our channel live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Wednesday, the 27th.
Wow, very nice. And Kristen said you were very missed,
Aw.
Nancy. Aw.
Thank you, Kristen.
So
Always,
Kristen
yeah.
will just have to have you back again.
Yes. Yes.
And just went ahead for
Yeah.
anybody watching the replay. That is the link. You just click on that, and then you can go to there and hit notify me when it
Yes.
pops up. Because sometimes I need those little
Thanks.
reminders. When I
Yeah.
and if I can do it, I pop in. So before we get to Karen, Nancy, did you want to go first, or did you want me to do my little? No, I'll let
You know
you
what?
go first, and I'll do my little spiel.
You can do your spiel if you want to.
You want me to do my spiel? Okay.
Well,
So
I
we
mean,
have.
whatever, and then maybe what I do kind of ties into that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's just see where it
we'll just
goes.
start with that. See where it goes. So it says we have five, and so we have maybe a couple lurkers. So hello, any lurkers that are watching. Welcome, welcome. So, um, coming back to the balance of the masculine and the feminine. It has been my experience. I mean, I'm going to be 54 in a couple of weeks, and since my 20s, all the way up until my age now, I have noticed when I started learning about other religions outside of the patriarchal one that I grew up in, that there was a balance between the masculine and the feminine, and there were other religious or spiritual beliefs that actually honor the feminine. There were some that, goddess worship. And so, since Nancy and I have done or started our Divine Feminine, we have had people come in and they've been relatively respectful, and we greatly appreciate that because we're all going to come from different walks of life and different environments and different religions or spiritualities that we've been raised in. And so for them, the idea of a divine feminine being equal to a divine masculine hasn't always, sat well with certain folks. And and there have some that, have even one time relatively accused, of those of us who talk about the divine feminine. Particularly in this show here, this person made a comment that nowadays you can't get away from her, she's everywhere, what do you mean you need to bring her to the forefront, men are being demonized now because of her and this and that. And um in
Mm.
a certain for those of us within our circle here, we know that that's not true, but I have seen since I was younger that there are some groups of women who do focus solely on the goddess, and they have demonized the
Mhm.
men in some aspects. And so it's still this back and forth of that this imbalance, and whether or not, because some, let's face it, some men and women are raised in certain households where the trauma of being raised in the patriarchal religion and how that follows through with home life or where they live or where they're from, weighs heavily. And for them, they feel safer with a divine feminine because it's a nurturing, mothering energy. Because let's face it, men are raised not to be that way. They're raised in the idea of a patriarchal God. Um, you know, they can be loving, yes, but a lot of times it's fear based, it's damnation, this and that. And so it's this unhealthy, back and forth, back and forth. And with this week of gratitude, it's just really important that no matter where you are in life and what you are drawn spiritually to follow, what feels safe and feels right for you at this moment, is that we still need to honor that divine masculine and feminine because we all have it in each other, and
Mhm.
it's so important. I am still working through, my upbringing with the patriarchal, and where I don't feel comfortable working necessarily with male deities. I feel more comfortable working with feminine. Although Archangel Michael, and again, we got to remember too that gender, spirit with gender. So again, that's another whole
Mhm.
aspect of it. But you have to feel what's right for you, and
Yeah.
as long as there's a healthy respect within each of us, um, and how we express that towards ourselves and to others, and the gratitude of having um, even though I was raised in and I've had people in the pagan community that know that I've met over the years when I say, well, I was raised a Catholic, and they go, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, don't be, because I was given a divine feminine to look at, even though she wasn't considered divine feminine. I had the goddess, I had Mary, I was taught morals, I was taught that there was a God, that there was a beautiful afterlife, and so
Mhm.
there were things that I was raised with that I was able to carry on over into my new spirituality. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, Carmela.
Hey, Bobby.
And so it is about balance. It is being grateful for what we have. And like with the Wiccan and traditional, like pagan values, this time of year, There is, again, that balance between the masculine and the feminine, the male sacrificing himself for the good of people, and then the abundance coming from Mother Earth. And so I just want to really quick, I pulled out a card I want to share, that is the core mother. And I'm just going to put myself on the little biggie here for a second, from my goddesses of the world, right? Yes, goddesses of the world oracle. And this is core mother, Native American. And here it's about tending your dreams. And a beautiful dream is that everybody does have all that they need, and maybe even more, that we all are given the opportunity in the future, that that we all can receive abundance, and have enough food on our table, enough money coming into our households, and enough safety and security within our lives, and having the people in our lives that we consider family, whether they're blood or if they're by our tribe. And so for Core Mother, she's tend to your dreams. Embrace the spirit of Core Mother, the North American goddess of fertility and abundance. Cultivate gratitude for the earth's gifts and tend to the seeds of your dreams. Let her energy inspire you to nurture your own growth and the growth of those in your circle. So, again, for people coming in, I am very grateful this week for having Nancy, for having Karen, for having Kristen, for having Ange, Bobby. Mwah, you're a blessing. I'm so grateful for this year. Tom is here. Sue Toffee, welcome. Thank you. All my followers, Flo and Carmela. I'm grateful for every single one of you. And so with that, I know Nancy had a card that she wanted to pull. She pulled and she wanted to share. And then Karen is going to share about the balance of the masculine and feminine in her point of view, in her viewpoint, especially using astrology with Mercury Retrograde coming up. So to you, Nancy.
I love that, nurturing the seed of your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And letting that grow, especially during the winter months, keeping that gestated and warm and protected, and
It's another archetype. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have I pulled a card before we started. I was furiously shuffling, and this one came out, and it's a card of gratitude. And it says, there's always something to be grateful for, even in the darkest of situations. Now is the time to recognize what is going well in your life and what you are thankful for. And look at the look on her face. Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just being quiet and closing your eyes and thinking about all that you're grateful for.
Here we go. That was a big all in your face.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I have a lovely book that I have had for several years. It's the Book of Blessings and Rituals by Athena Periakos. She is Sage Goddess. And in the beginning of the book, there is a wonderful ritual where she calls in the four corners. That is gorgeous. But this is a blessing for Thanksgiving. And I thought it was appropriate that we could, maybe start with this today, since we are talking about gratitude and abundance, among other things. Great Spirit, Mother Earth, Father God, source of all that is, today we give thanks for your abundant blessings. We thank you for the gifts of the earth, which sustain us and grace us with beauty each day, for this home and table where we are held and gathered today, for this food of the land which nourishes our bodies and warms our souls. We thank you for the gift of community which connects us and holds us in this life, for our family of birth and of choice, who nurture and love us through the passing years, for friends far and wide, for their companionship and joy. We thank you for the gift of this day and honor you with the gratitude in our hearts. We are so grateful for this gathering, for loved ones who make sure we never walk alone, and most of all for this life with its infinite gifts of joy, grace, and love. For these and all of our blessings, we offer our gratitude on this day of Thanksgiving, and we ask for continued blessings upon us and all we love. And then she closes with Amen, Aho, and so it is. And I put this on my community page because I thought that maybe some of you might want to recite this if you have a Thanksgiving altar or ritual, or when you sit down to the table.
Beautiful.
I just thought it was beautiful. And I love the for our family of birth and of choice. I really like that. And for the gift of community. And I think of the community that we have here and how important it is to me.
Nice too. Very important.
So
I'm just looking through comments to see if so we said hello to everybody, and Kristen said corn was one of the three sisters in Native American agriculture. Yes, it was. Beans and squash as well. So yes. And
I love what Chloe said about this card.
I was just about to pull that up next. Yeah. Yes.
Oops. Did I? Okay. I was like, I didn't press anything. Sorry.
Alrighty. Now, all yours, my dear. What would you like to share with us?
Okay. Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, goodness. All right. Where do I start? Okay.
By breathing.
Interesting. Well, I get excited. Like
I do. I understand.
Because I am a Mercury baby. I'm a Gemini. And it's my sun and my Venus. So that's a fun sign to have in your Venus planet. But anyways, yeah. So what you were saying, like when you first came on, really is kind of like looking back at some comments and things that you've seen that we're questioning each other's, philosophies. We're questioning what we believe, why we believe it, and expressing, our feelings about that. And that's something we really do during Mercury retrograde, or we're supposed to, is like reevaluate, look back, redo, revisit things. And it's really ironic that we're in Sagittarius right now, which is all optimism, like good faith, let's go with it,
Woohoo, go
trust, we got this. Yeah, big time faith and optimism there. And Gemini is very, and I mean Virgo is a mercurial sign too, but I'm a Gemini, so I'm just speaking from my Mercury baby side. And also it's interesting that Gemini, Jupiter is in Gemini right now, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter.
By Jupiter. The biggest planet,
and then
baby,
Sagittarius, it has its little home in Mercury. Neither one, I think both are like detrimental in the opposite. So it's kind of a funny lineup. It's a ironic, kind of funny way that it's worked up in the astrology of things right now. So it's like Geminis or people heavy in, air and especially Mercury are, going to have to like look at things in a bigger picture kind of way that feels weird for us. And here Sagittarius, is going to be forced to slow down. You can't go. I got to stop and think about, what I need to do here. And I don't like that. Like, I just kind of want to go with it. Right. So it just slows us down to help us balance ourselves back out. Some of the things about, if there's, some feelings like that we're coming down in the divine masculine. I mean, when I use masculine and feminine in astrology, I'm not really thinking of it in terms of gender anyways. I'm thinking of it literally by the qualities that, the words that we use to describe the qualities of that sign. So or that element, so feminine versus masculine. I mean, it's just a polarity. One is gonna, you know, be more proactive, one is more receptive. I mean, just think of it like the sun and the moon is a major polarity. And then I know some people do consider the sun to be the opposite, like feminine, but I've been taught, like it's I look at it as a masculine because it's just very, it can be more aggressive. It's very just kind of just in your face. And here we have the moon with, the receptiveness, the cycles. It's a push kind of pull relationship. We have embodied masculine and feminine sides inside of us. And guess what? We're never balanced. We just we try to we do our best. But we're never fully balanced. That we wouldn't have any spiritual work to do if we didn't look at that. So I mean, and somebody who considers themselves, hey, I'm a man, but they could have way more like a heavy, water earth, like a feminine chart. I mean, it just, you just never know. But the thing is, though, too, when we look at like the divine feminine and we're looking at these goddesses, if you look back at their stories, none of them are, there's always some quality that you're like, ooh, but I don't like that. I mean, so it gives it that human element, these archetypes that we can look at in this type of way, right? So I've been reading this book, like the psychology behind goddesses or whatever. It's by Jean Bolin, I believe, and it's a classic. Like she wrote it. She's a psychiatrist, who did a lot of the young studies with the archetypes, and then she has
talking about
and then she has the 7 archetypes, and I thought that was genius because I have a hard time just picking a goddess, right? Like I'm like, but I see myself in her, and I see myself in that, but the thing is like with our spirit guides, I mean, there's a time and a season at times. There's changes. And I like her take on the fact that pointing out like we can be more than one. We shift in and out. We can be more than one at once when you think about it. Like I've got my independent streak. So, I could look more like an Athena or something like that. But then I've got my, Lilith. Lilith, yeah.
Ooh,
yeah, I got a little Lilith.
You don't want to see that Lilith.
But I feel a little Lilith. That's funny. But I have like a lot of Aphrodite type things. But then there's things about Aphrodite that it's just like, I mean, she's got a bad rap. There's way more depth to Aphrodite than just, sex and love and babies. I mean, it's deeper than that.
Karen, can I interrupt you just for a second? Peace Mama would love to have the title of that book again, and I can type it in.
Yeah, I will find it for you in just a few. It's on my phone, so I'm gonna have to like blank my screen. But or if you want to look it up, it's I believe Jean Bolin, like Bolen.
Yeah, Shinnon Bolin or something. She's got like a middle name, and it's called The Psychology of the Goddess.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. I was close.
I think that's
yeah. But I guess like the whole like balance thing. I'm sorry, I digress. I get excited when I talk about stuff like this. But I pulled cards and I could see like the moon in one and then the sun, like challenges I was gonna face. And sure enough, the moon was like in my mental like space more. Like I needed to like be a little bit more logical there. And so I mean, it was just me looking at how I could balance myself. And I believe that like just looking at those traits, like we can see that in each other. And I feel like it's an important thing to note, like we're not just one of anything, right? I mean, we are a wonderful recipe that comes together, and it's fluid and it changes because energy is always changing. So I
I love
just feel like
that.
we could just do our best to balance ourselves. And if we can't find that in ourselves, sometimes how can we pull that from the energy around us, and work with people and work with others. So I feel like we can really look at it as a form of, coming together if we understand more about both sides, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I might have just totally rambled on for a while, but don't be afraid of this Mercury retrograde, okay? Like,
You're fine.
it might feel painful at times, but just try to go with the flow and just recognize that it's trying to slow you down for a reason. And also, like, wrapping up the year here, like, it's a time to think about, like, maybe certain plans changed and it's time to revisit them. Maybe something will fall apart, and it will be disappointing. But the point is that it's all happening in perfect alignment. And to revisit that, like I had to when I got let off from my job, the last Mercury retrograde. So I'm going into this as positively as I can, and I'm thinking about my philosophies and things, and then also just like let's look at the big picture for next year. So anyways, that's kind of like the big message I got out of Mercury retrograde. And yeah.
Wonderful. So I typed in the psychology of the goddess, but I did get Goddesses in Every Woman by Jean Shinoda Bolen. So do you think
that's it? That's it. And I think the subtitle is like the psychology of the goddess or something like that.
Goddesses in Every Woman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Goddesses.
Or something like that. Yeah. And that was another point, is like we are, goddesses, because they were just as imperfect, I mean, I don't
think sometimes the goddess chooses you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
Whether, kicking and screaming, you might not.
Yeah,
but,
like with me at the morgue.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But she talks about how it
with Karebear, and Gaia just all of a sudden came in, and I don't know, Karebear may have brought her in, like, listen, she needs you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Andy's mama says this is a time to reassess and reevaluate.
Yeah, I love
that. Definitely.
Yes.
And hey, girl, hey.
I love what Myra just said.
Let me back up. Goddess and Every Woman is the book I have. The gods are also within us. Yes, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what this psychiatrist, this whole book, it addresses that too. And the men actually came later to her and asked, where's our book for the divine masculine? Well, apparently she did one. And she said, you know what, you're right, that I do want to look at that next. And she really liked that they were interested in what she had to say, because they wanted to understand the divine feminines in their life, how to balance it out better. And I thought that was really lovely. So like, I don't look at it as putting it down. I mean, there's the problem is that we needed to change, like it was time. But it can get a little negative, and there's sides of it. But I'm not by any means ever putting down the idea of a divine masculine by any means, but we need both sides. So,
and Bobby said polarity is one of the 7 tenets of Hermeticism. This is talking about. So there you go.
That's what I need to work on next. I want to know more about the Hermetic laws.
And then in hindsight, it all makes sense. Gotta trust. Very true, Janet.
Yeah,
I like that.
And I meant to show y'all too. This is my card.
Oh, let me put you on the biggie so we can see that pretty card.
Okay. See if we can get it.
The mermaid's purse, right?
Yes, the mermaid's purse.
Beautiful deck.
Yes. And this is Ascension, and this has very Sagittarius energy to me. Like the flowing up, upward, and then the bright sun, like, makes me think of the fire, the fire element there. But also, Sagittarius likes to push forward, but you can kind of go with the flow too. But ascension. I feel like we're in a time of ascension right now, especially with Pluto officially in Aquarius. We're going to be looking at groups in a big social standpoint here. And yeah, the last time it was in Aquarius, what happened? The Revolutionary War or something? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, some major things.
Changing.
Yeah. So yeah.
And Tom says you don't have to. Tom says you don't raise anything up by putting something else down. I like that, Tom.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I like that. Literally. Yeah.
And Sharon said definitely a time of reassessment.
Yeah.
So nice to see some people we haven't seen in a while, like Strawberry Rue. My Sharon Rue is here.
Oh, hi.
And Peace Mama, we haven't seen you in a while, so nice to see you back as well. And talking about pizza in chat. Okay, so
I did want to show y'all something real quick.
It's pizza, I think.
Yes, and Karen wants to share something else with us. So
since Bobby's here or whatever, like he sent me, these are the charms.
Oh,
and Bobby, I wanted to do like a special video, but if he's still here, beautiful. So beautiful to add to my collection here. There's wings, so you have a right and
Mercury, the messengers.
Beautiful, right?
Beautiful.
I love it.
Bobby,
love,
that's lovely.
I mean,
so thoughtful.
It's so beautiful. Yes. So I'm grateful for our community as well. And just, this was a total surprise. And it warmed my little heart. Thank you.
Yes, we do have a wonderful community. So we are at 5:33.
Well, you know what Sharon said, definitely a time of reassessment. It kind of goes with this time of the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, when this is a time when I slow down and I go within, and I require that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
definitely,
you know, my body and my mind and my soul are just saying, just slow down, slow down. I love it.
That's totally what it's meant to do.
I'm glad to be a part of this. And Bobby,
absolutely.
Tom said, you're all praising him, but what about the poor angel? He ripped them off. Oh my goodness. And Peace Mama said, I've been struggling to find my balance. I think a lot of us. I had to get back to nature to find my serenity again, but I'm back.
Yes.
And it's good to have you back, my dear.
Something about nature that is so nurturing if we allow it to be, if we just slow down.
It heals us. We're a part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were meant to stay plugged into the earth. We live off of each other. We support each other.
Absolutely.
Let's see. And Moira says, we always talk of the upside of Aquarius, but we also need to explore the shadow of Aquarius to understand the aeon to come.
Yeah.
Wow. And
there's a shadow. Yeah.
And
there's always
Carmela
a shadow
says,
in all of us.
Me too, Nancy. I slow down and even out feels good. So, oh, thank you, Ange. I just saw that. So let's see. Bobby says we don't talk about Bruno. Crickets. Is that the angel? Bruno? I have a stuffed dog I still have since I was 4 years old sitting over there named Bruno.
I want to know now. It's an inside joke I don't know about.
So that has the angel. So I didn't know that there was an angel named Bruno. Okay.
Oh.
But Sharon says also, my body has definitely told me to slow down. My left hip tendon muscles are screaming at me. Oh boy. Yeah. It kind of sucks to get older, but
there's nice things too.
We don't talk about Bruno, not anymore. I don't know. Bruno from Popeye? No, he's talking about an angel. I don't know, Carmela. I'm completely confused.
I wrote it down.
Yeah. It's a wingless angel that's roaming around.
One of the things that I think of when people mention the name Bruno is that movie that came out by that guy who was controversial, who did Borat. He did a movie called Bruno on a model or something. So sometimes I'm like,
Oh.
Bobby, are you referring to? Or I don't know. That's the angel I ripped the wings off of. Oh, okay, Bobby. All righty. So we're okay for YouTube for entertainment purposes only, and we don't condemn or recommend ripping off any wings off of any angels.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is all just.
Sharon
Hello,
says, I am
Katya.
not getting older. I refuse. You know, my grandmother
No.
lived to be 92. And when she was about 87, she said, she had rheumatoid arthritis, was terribly crippled. She said, I feel like a young girl in an old lady's body. And, you know, I thought that was strange. But, you know, I feel like I'm an early 20 something inside. You know, but I think that there are some people that were born old and they stay old until they get old, you know. I mean, I think it's all a mindset, you know, of
What's the triple
positivity
goddess though?
against negativity, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But like the maiden is always going to be in there.
Mm-hmm. Always aspects in our lives. We can be
Yeah.
in one
I mean,
moment,
it's not
from
like
the next.
the energy just evolves, but it doesn't, you know, it started at its root and it evolves and grows, but that root isn't gone. It's still there, you know. It's just different.
And so if you hear any bumps, in the night, Tom says, don't worry, Bobby. Bruno will be looking for them at Karen's now.
I know. I was trying not to bust out laughing when I saw that.
Boy, Tom.
Hey, Allison.
So yes, Allison would like to get a hold of you, so I'll get you your talk to you backstage.
Okay, cool.
So everyone's saying hello, agreeing with Nancy. Was there anything else, ladies, you wanted to discuss before we open up the floor for our readings?
Nope, I just got to go grab my goddess deck. I had the box in here, but apparently the cards weren't in here, so I've just got to go grab it.
All righty, now get the started here. Oops,
I'll be right back. Sorry.
You're fine. So what I did for today is what messages, I know this is a very slow ticker today. What message does the Divine Feminine have for us, or for me, for cultivating gratitude? So, okay, Sharon, I will put you on there. Usually I just have people type in me, but I typed that so fast I forgot.
Are we going to just pull one card, or how are we going to do this, Heather?
It's whatever, as always, if you feel, to pull 1, 2, 3, whatever, same as whichever feels right to you, intuitively right to you. So I should I don't have to fix the banner. And hello, Magus. Wonderful, wonderful friend. And I hope you had everybody. It was either yesterday or the day before. Magus celebrated his birthday. So, Magus, you are a fellow Sag. Happy birthday, fellow Saggy. I hope you had a beautiful day. So, thank you for popping in and saying hello. So, yes, thank you. I saw there was a driver here today, and I almost stopped him outside and said, what did you, and I thought, not drop it. They may not even have any clue of what I'd be talking about. So thank you, my dear. I appreciate you so much.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. So we have 2 requests already. Let me just take some of the comments. I had starred. And Sharon would like to have a reading.
Great.
Cards pulled for this. And I don't know if you saw that, Karen. It's What message does the divine feminine have for us, or for like Sharon, for cultivating gratitude?
Sure.
And let's see. All righty. And let me guess, Nancy, are you all right? Done already?
I am. I have two cards that are just perfect, I think, for Sharon. The first one is I have a new deck, the Mythic Goddess Tarot, and the first card that came out for you, Sharon, is Dumavati, the Hanged Man, the card of surrender. And you think of seeing things with a different perspective when you get the Hanged Man or the Hanged Woman. But the card that came along with that is the card of stillness. And I think that when you look at things from a different perspective, and you are still, and you think, and you go within, you can find the gratitude there, and you can embrace it, and let it become an important part of your everyday life. And I think that we were Karen was talking about the sun and the moon, but look at those stars.
A
And
swan.
a swan has such grace. And when I think of gratitude, I think of the word grace, and all that it brings to our lives, when we embrace gratitude. And that's what I have for you, Sharon.
And Sharon says, yes, I think think of things people I'm grateful for every day. I think
That's
a lot of times when
important.
things are difficult, it's really important to do that.
Yeah.
So this is so cool. I just opened up to see what so Sharon, you're gonna love this, Nancy. I love the synchronicities. So you know how you just had the swan, and it said you're talking about the moon, but here is about reaching for the stars, you said? I got the goddess Nut for you, Sharon. And for this deck, what's the title of her card? Reach for the stars.
Oh.
So Nut is the Egyptian goddess of the sky. She's the night sky. She's the embracing sky of the earth. And it's the Egyptian goddess of the sky, reminds you of the vastness of the cosmos and the limitless possibilities of life. Notice the expansiveness within yourself and the universe, for you are connected to the stars and the very essence of creation. As you look to the heavens, let Nut's energy inspire you to dream big. So, right off the bat, and it goes perfectly with my two tarot cards, it is all about for you to cultivating gratitude is to keep cultivating what your dreams are, what your goals are, to keep living life to the fullest, embracing life, your dreams, like she embraces the sky. And the two tarot cards I have for you is the Nine of Pentacles, which is about independence, celebrating the beauty that is your garden, your creation, everything that you worked hard for and have worked hard for, and now that you are enjoying, you're basically reaping that beautiful bounty that is around you, and to remind yourself to look around and see what it is that you have. And the bottom energy of the deck is the Magician. So this is, again, you have the power to manifest whatever it is that you want, and to still go after those goals. And like that beautiful, with the wolf here, she's putting the wolf together. She's connecting the wild side of the animal, of the wolf, with her inner human soul and her spirit, and bringing them together to create. To she's co-creating, you know, and you have the power for that. So that's what I have for you, Sharon. And let's see what Karen has.
Okay. Nancy, did you pull the hangman?
Pardon me? The
Did you
hangman,
pull?
yes. Mhm.
I did too.
Oh,
How
Yeah.
interesting. We're getting similar cards.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. And this is from my the Wandering Moon, I believe.
ooh.
I think that's right.
That's
Um,
pretty.
yeah, and see, look at this the crescent moon,
Mm.
is hung there. I just got to look at this for just a second because it's just so beautiful, right? Uh,
A
I
lot of
really
stars
love this deck.
too,
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like.
So yeah, so that's that Piscean energy where we pause, and sometimes the pause is uncomfortable, um, but it's also can sometimes be a bit of a sacrifice as well. What are you willing to put on pause for something else, right? And sometimes that can be hard to balance our emotions with that. Because I got this card for you from the Mermaid's Purse Oracle,
Mm.
sensitivity. And look, it does. She looks like like a jellyfish there,
Mm.
like a,
Karen says, I
yeah.
am a Pisces. So there you go.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, hey, and then here we've got sensitivity. And I pulled from my like little charm bucket. I got one of the like stormtrooper helmets, and this guy's been coming out a lot lately. So I mean, it is like a form of protection, but also when you think about the stormtroopers, they were the one kind of like the bad, like for the Empire, just doing as what they're told. And I just kind of get this, you know, here is like with sensitivity, we feel the need to protect our energy too, um, and can feel a little bit more vulnerable, especially to kind of like oppressive type, aggressive type forces here. Um, so I think that is like saying that yeah, you're justified and needing to protect your energy because you're a little bit more sensitive, and being Pisces feel alive. And I had this like little rabbit that came out too, and they're well, all the pieces in this thing I believe are primary colors, but it's a green, and green is like abundance. But um at no point in our life, no matter what point in our life here, we can create and be fertile in other ways than just making little rabbits.
Be
Create
grateful for your little
creativity.
bunnies running around.
Yeah, so I feel like this, also rabbits are really sensitive, those ears, like they can hear so well. So I would kind of be, yeah, tuned into for messages or just energies around you, or you might hear something that you might not have paid attention to. When I think of that, your goddess card here,
My fertile days are
which these
definitely over.
the, I could maybe go for another, but I don't want to. I'm done. So yes, I've had enough. I've had enough. Um, so these are like are these are like real people that we could look into, and because we are all goddesses. And I kind of like that message behind this deck, is that we're all goddesses. We're all divine, have the divine feminine within us, and to look at, to feel like it's more in our reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I meant to say that earlier. But we've got Teresa of Avila. Yes, Our Lady of the Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me and know that the presence of love is real. And when I said that vulnerability too, I just kind of got this feeling just then that something, might feel hard to be vulnerable again with something, it might have come to a completion, but just to also just know that you're worthy of love, that you're worthy of love. So I pulled a gratitude quote for you. Today I'm grateful for synchronicities. You're listening for signs. There can be signs, synchronicities that you see. These moments never fail to amaze me, and they always bring a smile to my face. I see them as little signs from the universe, showing me that I am on the right path. You are on the right path. Just like the Teresa of Avila is about going within, and I think that this Mercury retrograde is going to be a good time to go within and look at how you feel about people and ideas and all kinds of things. Just take some time to go in and look back at some things and set some healthy boundaries as necessary for yourself, and then just to know that you are worthy of love. I feel like self-love, right? I have to do that with myself. So I think that's the message there.
All righty. Thank you, my dear. And
Yes.
as you were talking, Sharon said, yes, sensitivity. I am an empath. And really quick, too, Bobby said Hangman equals mem, which is the Hebrew for water. So very
Yes.
interesting. So there's the
Yes.
water connection as well.
Yeah.
And we already saw her comment. My fertile days are definitely over.
I always laugh
said,
when the bunny comes out.
and she says, however, I have mentored and loved many, many children in my teaching career. So, and she says, wow, beautiful and very interesting. Kristen, Teresa of Avila was a very fascinating woman. She reportedly could levitate.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, Sharon, can you levitate?
That just gave me chills. That just gave me chills.
And
And look,
hello, Scott just joined us. Hello,
look
Scott.
for doves too. Strawberry, look for
Mm-hmm.
doves.
Beautiful.
Very
Yeah. That gave me chills when you said that. That was crazy. Okay. In a good way.
All righty. So next up is Moira. And I know, Nancy, you're all ready. So I'm just going to switch you over.
Let me silence my phone.
Moira, the two cards that I have for you, the goddess is Hecate. And in this card,
Ooh.
she is the magician. And she has so much power. There's life and death and regeneration and magic. And this is a card, this is a goddess that I believe teaches you to harness your full potential. And it's like you need to realize that you have all that you need, both inside and out. You have the power. And when you embrace that, you transform. And this is very powerful, and this is something to fill you with gratitude, because it's a beautiful process. And I just love these cards for you. I know that Bobby works very closely with Hecate. I have never worked with her, but I love the way she is represented in this particular deck, because sometimes she's kind of scary, and I feel like she has a beautiful side too. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm seeing in this reading for you.
And Moira said, oh, geez, just starting to work with Hecate.
Ooh.
So, okay. Girls, we're on fire today. And Tom says, Moira, sounds like she's now starting to work with you as well. And Bobby's like, Hecate or Hecate. Go ahead, Nancy. I'm sorry. I just had to get that.
The deck that I don't have the box I've got on the shelf, but I have this out. This is the deck. It is a pip deck. And the messages in it are beautiful. And the other deck that this comes from is Denise Lynn's Sacred Destiny.
Lovely. And Jackie Jacaranda has joined us. Scott Scorpio has joined us. Welcome, welcome. And so, Moira, to cultivate gratitude, honey, you got to start laughing more. As you know, we were talking earlier, we started laughing. I looked at and I said, there she is. And Uzume, oh, she's about laughter. She is like the laughing goddess. She's Japanese and she's all about laughter. So right now, to cultivate gratitude, to laugh, laughter, mirth, joy, being silly, having fun, helps raise our mood, helps raise our not just our mood, but when our mood raises, it helps our health. We feel better when we laugh more. It gets those serotonin, happy hormones kicking in. Because it says here, has life become a burden? And so it's learning to right now. And so laugh more. And I love here how it's kind of like, I love this beautiful balance, how this is the dark and the light, and then the opposites are on here because, and I say that because Moira, I both got the Hanged Man that came out, which is about perspective, looking at things from, start looking at things from a different angle, looking at life in a different way, using laughter, using humor. And I know this isn't a traditional Hanged Man, and this one here, Jeremy is saying in the process of, and this could either be what you're about to hang upside down to hang. So I gotta watch how you say it, how the word hang yourself, but hanging safely, hanging from look at a different perspective. So this is the third time we've had the Hangman card come out. And so this one here is either you are taking yourself down because you've already done the perspective. There's that mask that this individual is wearing. It's time to remove the mask. Remove yourself from having to hang upside down. Be open to looking at life in a different perspective. And when we do, I got the Ace of Pentacles, which is a beautiful, the stub has the key in its mouth, hand reaching up, beautiful things are going to be handed your way. Things, the laughter can bring bounty when we raise our vibration, when we raise our mood. Good things tend to more come to us with that like energy. And again, with Azume, with the balance of her background, I also got Temperance, which is all about balance, staying grounded, being grounded within yourself, but also being able to tap into that watery nature of yourself and your intuition. Again, another mask. She's removing the mask. It's the crow about magic and mystery. We already know that we have that. And she's removing it and showing that this is already you underneath this. This is what you have, and you need to find that balance. So again, with the balance, this could very well be again, working with Hecate, being on that road, finding you're at that crossroads, let her help you stay in that middle road where you're supposed to go and help direct you. So that's what I have for you. And we're going to give it over to Karen.
Okay. Myra. Okay. It's funny. It's like Myra D, right? I got a D that came out.
Cool.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool too. And I just got to jump straight to the goddess card that came out here. Look, Heather.
White Buffalo Calf Woman.
Yes.
Lovely.
That's what came out,
she came
right?
out earlier too, backstage.
Yeah. And then in your painting this morning, and then you explained it to me, and you were like, "That's a feather," and yeah, I thought that was really cool. But White Buffalo Calf Woman, I'm sure you are familiar with her, as many of y'all are here already, but she calls her the prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. So obviously, listening to your heart and doing things from love, out of love,
Me too.
is what you get back. And I got this, like, I made this out of little Lego pieces, and it's supposed to be like a lollipop, but it didn't quite work out, right?
I was thinking of a stethoscope, feeling the heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean,
listening to
it's
the heartbeat.
yeah, but yeah, I put these two pieces together, so I was like, oh, I'm trying to make a piece of candy. So there's a sweetness that that is being, so to give and to receive and to really feel it in the heart. Did you use some heart chakra meditations too? Because really, like, our heart is the one part of our body, I read, that has the most electromagnetic energy. And what does that mean? Like, it's emitting the most energy. So if it's not at the right, just needs some fine tuning, right? To really to tap into that too, because that is the next, to really get the mind and the heart connected, but also, like, what we vibrate, we get back. So filling it from that place of love and really focusing on opening that spot up really is, I believe, the energy key to the rest of it. It all begins with the heart. Two cards came out. I was only trying to get one of these, but okay. It always looks opposite. So yeah, so sorry, I was right to begin with. The Four of Wands came out first for you. Okay. It's backwards. I'm sorry. It's different when you look at it, right, from the screen when you're trying to film. And then I got the Seven of Stars. And the Seven of Stars are the Seven of Pentacles in this deck. And look, there's just all these stars in this tree, just maybe not quite ready there. It's also like looking, yeah, it's also, it just depends when you're in that Seven of Stars mode. And I feel like this is kind of a message during Mercury retrograde too. I see all these tie-ins here, like with the Four of Wands. I mean, that's, it's equal energy. It's steady. You've already surpassed something to celebrate here, right? But it's like there might be more that you're waiting for, but there's a call for patience, in divine timing. It might feel frustrating. Don't let that kill what you've built here, right? To tap into that and to let your heart, don't be afraid to let your heart lead at this time. And we've got wisdom. The wisdom. And she says in here, and I really want to say this, I like how she put it. She said, this card tells us that you're heading in the right direction. Your wisdom and decision-making skills are yielding positive results, and you should find assurance in your ability to use them and to solve problems. But if presently you're still not feeling confident in your decisions, you'll need to look for the real reason and deal with it. So that could be something that you look at this time too. So don't let your spirit get down to, because you are going in the right direction. Like worry and fear, things like that can drag our overall vibrational energy down. It's something that we constantly have to fine tune and do our little, our affirmations, rituals, anything that helps bring that up, because then we're in a higher vibration to receive and be able to commune with our spirit guides and all. Who wouldn't want that, right? My gratitude quote for you is, today I'm grateful for fear. And I just said about anxieties. I aim to view fear from a different perspective. Like when you're looking, oh, it's not ready yet. Like, don't fear that it's not, like work on that part. Fear reveals obstacles, blockages, and the boundaries I've set for myself. It helps me grow, and the feeling of overcoming fear is truly beautiful. So, yeah,
All
that is
righty.
that is the
Thank
message.
you,
Thank
Miss
you.
Karen. And when you pulled up that one little trinket, when you thought it was a lollipop and I thought it was a stethoscope, we were getting some interesting. So these might be something you might want to keep with you. Some people said they thought
Yeah.
it was a. Let's see, where is it? Someone said a stethoscope here, an earbud. Moira said. Tom said toilet brush. Of course, Tom. Um, Janet thought it was her face scrubber, and Kristen said it looks like an electrode. So
Ooh,
I
okay.
just thought I would throw those
Interesting.
few things out to you in
Yeah.
case in the future. Um,
Thanks.
and we've been joined by Morg in the void. So hello, Morg.
Hi, Morgan.
Welcome, welcome. And Moira says definitely makes sense, Karebear. Thank you. So
Wonderful.
all righty, we still have a few more to go. We are at 6:07. Ladies, doing okay? All righty, so next
Yes,
up
thank
is
you.
Peace Mama. And I'm just going to go right ahead and get Nancy in spot there. It's nice to see you back, Peace Mama.
I have a beautiful card for you, Peace Mama. I'm not sure if I will pronounce this goddess's name right. It's Asaya, the Empress, and it is the card of abundance.
Ooh.
And there are all different kinds of abundance. We're grateful for abundance. And this card, to me, is reminding you to connect to the earth, and that the abundance is unlimited. It's a card of new beginnings and rebirth. And I love that for you. The card that came out with it is, these two decks are really working well together, was the card of love. And,
Ooh.
Look at the flowers and how, when I think of the earth and the abundance of the earth, well, I think of Gaia. This would be a good card because Gaia is also nurturing like the Empress is. But this is Asase Ya. Are you familiar with her, Heather?
I think her name is pronounced Asasaya.
Oh,
maybe.
You're so good with that.
Well, that's what I'm. I mean, it sounds familiar. She's not in any of my other books, but what I was looking at, that I think that might be how you pronounce it. I could be wrong.
Well, when I think about the earth and its abundance, and I think about grounding and how the gratitude of being able to ground ourselves, and also the beauty of the earth and the abundance of the earth. And when we go out, this time of the year, there were all the beautiful leaves and everything, and when we walk outside, at Peace Mama, when you walk outside, if you're barefoot, your feet are on the ground and you're grounding yourself, and you're either in the soil or the moss or the grass. But underneath that, there is so much unseen beauty and untapped. And I just pulled this out. This is a raw crystal, preonite. And just imagine, when we're outside, when you go outside and you're grounding yourself, something like this is way, way down deep under your feet. There is such beauty there that we can tap into. And when we're grounding ourselves, if we picture all that in our minds, and the reason I'm going on and on about grounding is I felt led to pull another card for you with the abundance and the love. And the card that came out is the card of grounding.
Wow, there you go.
And this is what this says, Peace Mama. You're being asked to ground yourself. You've been spending too much time in your head. And it's time to pay attention to your body and to the earth. Go outside and plant your feet on the ground and enjoy the centering feeling this brings. And so, to me, when you do this, you will be filled with gratitude because you will feel the way you were supposed to feel when you were created. And that's what I have for you.
And she said, oh my God, that resonates. And I just had the epiphany about being in my head.
Oh.
So there you go. So thank you, Nancy. Beautiful. Let's see. So, Peace Mama. Looks like we do need grounding and we need to let go of some stuff. And we were just talking about her backstage, and I think Nancy must have been picking up on her because her presence came through for you, Peace Mama. You got Mary Magdalene. And in Vixen's deck, it shows she's represented in how she was treated and how she continues to be treated through the church in many ways. Bruised, banged up, kind of cut up, and bleeding. But look at that beautiful lotus at the bottom, and makes me think of, or this could be a rose, either or. It's a flower of love. It's of compassion, self-love as well. And, she's all about, it says here, Mary Magdalene embodies the power of transformation and forgiveness. Her journey from misunderstood figure to a devoted disciple heightens the strength in overcoming societal judgments. And that's what her card says here. The past does not define me. I rise from the depths of societal judgment. And I think that there's something that needs to be let go of. It says here, releasing past burdens. Because for my tarot cards, and I usually don't get reversals, I got 2 reversals. And it's the nostalgia card. This is the 4 of Cups. And wait a minute, no, 6 of, wait a minute, 6 of Cups, excuse me. And it is the nostalgia, but it was reversed. So I think you were living too much in the past. The nostalgia, things that have happened, feels like it's holding you back. Here, according to Jeremy, it's about depression and inaction. And so the judgments from the past, from others on yourself, is kind of holding you back, keeping you, making you feel unmotivated. You don't want to stagnate. You want to move forward. The other card that I got for the overall energy also came out reversed. And again, it's the Magician. So this is learning about not being afraid. You have to take back your own power. You have it within you. And it's up to you to manifest the life that you want moving forward. It's, the Magician, again, is about bridging, spirit, as above, so below. What is all around and above us and below us is also within us. So whatever this past judgments are, needs to be released. Forgiveness needs to be had. And embracing that power that's within you and not being afraid of that. And that's what I have. And I'll give you over to Karen. And I see you said it hits. Okay, then all right. Okay, and welcome, JJ. Thank you for joining us, Miss Gypsy. Yes, and Hermes, Bobby.
Yeah, so I got, oh gosh. Okay, I'll start here. All right. So yeah, talking about being, needing to ground, but maybe being in kind of like a stagnant type place here, because I immediately got the 4 of Swords here. But I mean, the 4 of Swords comes after the 3 of Swords, which obviously is, it's after the pain, right? After, and it's not just, in the realm of your emotions, it's like in your thoughts. It hurts. And, in this time of just rest and recuperation of that, but it's also a time you don't want to sit there too long and waste opportunities, right? It might be time to move forward, and even if you feel like you're in the 5 of stars here, which is the five of pence, but here, look, the palm is open. There are stars above. There's help. There's help. You might feel like you don't have help around you, but you do. You might just have to, get out there for it to be known more. Just don't be afraid to ask, because I had the Page of Swords, and this is the mercurial energy, right? It's looking at things logically, but also being more curious and beginning something here with the Page of Swords, beginning a new way of thinking, and just trying to clear up. So, you might need to get out of the balance the feeling space a little bit there, because it can make the mental space more foggy, right? I feel like the swords are still, it needs to be cleared out with this Page of Swords too, and communicated. And the goddess here to come out here is
Karen?
Amaterasu. Yeah.
Really quick, Bobby would like to know, that deck is gorgeous, that black and white one. He loves it.
Yeah.
People are loving it. Just really quick, they would like to know what
the
it is.
Wandering Moon Tarot.
The
It's
Wandering Moon Tarot. I will type that in. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's like, I got one of the holograph, like the black with there's different editions of it. But she's the goddess of light. And we are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. You have a light to be seen. And this is that sun energy. This is tapping into the masculine side and getting out there and putting yourself out there again, to be seen, to interact. Self-expression. How can you express yourself? Goes back to the Page of Swords energy there. I had 2 letters come out, F and an L. That could be, I don't know, Florida, but I also thought like L, light too. Feminine light. But they could be, names or people that you know. And then here we've got this green, like, I think it's supposed to be like a leaf or part of like a Lego flower or whatever, but it's green. It's time for something. It's going to die if it doesn't get the sunlight, right? This is a time to come out and do that. And it's funny, I had a little masculine character come out and then a feminine. We're talking about all this balance. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Yeah. So I think it's time to, kind of put yourself back out. And with that 5 of stars kind of being like your challenge there though too, that is like, putting yourself like out, like just step out, and get yourself out there. And I think that's going to help you. And this is your gratitude coin. I think it ties in so well and completes the whole thing. Today, I am grateful for breaking out of my usual routine. Trying something different brings a fresh perspective and opens the door to new experiences. It's a reminder that life is full of possibilities, just waiting to be explored, like that page energy. So I hope you got something meaningful out of that, and thank you for letting me read for you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Karen.
Yes.
And Garnet has joined us. Hello, Garnet, my dear.
Hi, Garnet.
Good to see you. And they were like, I want that deck. And Tom was like, don't tell him. And Bobby's like, it shall be mine. and Tom goes, enablers. Always, of course, purchase responsibly. And
The
Gypsy
guidebook
writes
is lovely
this, I
too.
like her. The Amaterasu. So
I do
beautiful,
too.
beautiful. So all righty. We have 2 readings left. We have Kristen, Louise, and then we have Tom actually asked for a reading. So Tom will be our last reading for the evening, but we have Kristen, Louise, and I'm just going to go right ahead and do the switcheroo.
Okay, I'm always like, wait.
And hi, David. David has joined us. How you doing? Good to see you.
David. Kristen, Louise, the goddess that came out for you is Rhiannon, and it's the card of judgment. Ooh. And it's inner calling. And to me, this is a card of choices. The choices that you make hopefully will align you with your life's purpose. And she's on this beautiful horse, and there's sunshine and a bird, and she's got, I don't know, is that a megaphone? What do you think that is, ladies?
I think that's a basum.
A basum?
Or a bell. No. Maybe it's a bell, because if you remember, Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't you love to love her?
Okay.
So that might be part of her mythology, is the bells, the ringing, because she would raise the dead with the song of the birds and everything.
The reason I asked was when I drew the 3rd card, it says speak your truth, and look at that.
Very cool.
And this is what it says, Kristen. You've stayed silent long enough. Speak up, stand your ground, and state your perspectives. You will rise to a higher vibration when you let your voice be heard. And I just thought it was interesting that these 2 cards came out, and they both have the sun in them. You know, that radiant sun. Karen was talking about the masculine energy. The 3rd card that came out for you is the card of focus. And to me, these cards all go together. You have to focus on your inner calling, and then you have to speak your truth. And I would think that process would fill you with gratitude, because when you realize that you have a calling, and you do speak your truth, you're talking about struggling, speaking your truth. I would imagine that Lilith is going to help you with that. I mean, this is Rhiannon, but I know that you're beginning to work with Lilith. And I think that this is just confirmation of what is happening to you right now. And it's always a pleasure to read for you, Kristen.
Alrighty. And she said, wow, I've been struggling with the idea of speaking my truth today. So she's been struggling with that today, that very same thing. She wanted to share that with you, Nancy. So, I pulled out a different goddess for you, but I just wanted to show you Lilith in here. So I don't know if you've seen her yet in the Goddesses of the World deck, Kristen. And she didn't come up yet last week, and I didn't pull her out when we were doing our show, or at least I don't think I did. So if everybody can just bear with me a moment and watch. There she is. Wow. So I'm just going to share Lilith's card. So I just wanted to share that. So there is Lilith in this deck. Look at those black wings. I love that. She feels almost, when I first saw this card, I thought of the Morgan, Kristen, because of the black wings. But this is Lilith's card in this deck. So I wanted to share that with you. So an interesting card, goddess card I got for you, Kristen. I got Nana Baluku, and she is an African deity goddess, primordial west, and there she is. She's a crone, and she is all about connecting with your roots. And I know that a lot of your spiritual work, having worked with the Nordic pantheon, you are connecting with your ancestral roots. And that was, your path for quite some time. And now it says here, connecting with your roots. So for cultivating gratitude, it says here, the primordial West African data reminds you of the ancient wisdom carried within your soul. Embrace the cycles of creation and destruction, which is also very much Lilith. For they lead to profound growth and renewal. Connect with your ancestral roots and draw strength from the deep well of ancient knowledge that flows through your veins. So I'm wondering if you're being drawn to work with Lilith, because somewhere within your ancestry, it may not be picked up now. I mean, a lot of us all began back in Sumer. That's where a lot of people believe that the human race was within the Egyptian Mesopotamia area. But this feels very much like still to help cultivate gratitude, connecting with your ancestors, continuing to honor them and ask them for guidance. And I'm just feeling like she's a very old, very ancient, whereas maybe even in a past life, Kristen, this might have been part of your bloodline in a past life. So it's all very ancestral. And it made me, and I felt like drawing, I had to pull out the card to go with the both of them. So that's what I have for you. And for the two cards, again, the Six of Cups came out this time in reverse. So this is very nostalgia, looking back, having good memories of family, of your history, things that you have celebrated, the traditions, spiritual traditions. And I know at this time that some of that might be difficult, having, lost mom last year. I did get the Nine of Swords, but it came out reversed. So she came out looking like this. So I think it's like what's saying here is that you are working through the nightmares, the grief, the sadness, the things that keep you up at night. I think this whole connection with your roots, drawing from those happy memories, drawing from the memories of family, of traditions, and letting that help, and that's helping you get through some of those nights where you may have sleepless nights. You're maybe having less of them because you're learning how to draw, and the gratitude, the memories of those times that you had with mom and the family together for certain holidays. So I'm going to leave it at there. Guilt keeps you up at night. Well, try to let go of that. It feels like you are working towards it. For me, I typically don't read reversal, so I'm not quite sure exactly. But for me, if it's upright, saying nightmares, keeping up at night, unable to sleep, reverse, it feels like maybe you are starting to work through some of that, and you're acknowledging it. And you have family, you have your ancestors, to help you through that. And that's what I have for you, sweetheart. And I'm going to give you over to Karen. You're welcome,
Hi.
Kristen.
So this struck me immediately, especially like when we were talking about working with Lilith. I just kind of got these like Lilith vibes here with Inanna. And yeah, she's not clothed there. Got the little bit of the Lilith energy there. It says, the Queen of Heaven and Earth. So I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. And I was reading it here. So it's kind of like a call to get naked, like whether that's probably, whether it's literally or metaphorically.
Kristen's like,
to be okay with being more vulnerable, right? So Oh, really? That is wild. Hey, that amazes me when things like pair up like that. And so this energy that I'm getting
Yeah.
right here that came out, it's like the three of stars. It's like working together. But also, I meant to mention, like with the heaven and earth, it's about um, accepting the shadows and not, you know,
And
feeling
Karen,
afraid because, yeah.
really quick, Kristen said some scholars believe Lilith is partly related to
Oh,
Ainana.
yes, I
So
saw
this, I
that.
want you
I
to. Oh,
thought that
you
was
saw that?
really
Okay.
cool. Oh, yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, no, perfectly fine.
I wanted to share that
This
with
is
you. Get
like
back at
Heather
it.
got that nine of swords, and I got this,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the 10 of swords.
Um,
But look, there's still like a little ways to go up. I feel like this is kind of something you're dealing with is getting, past, it's done, but there's still, the fallout from that. And that's might be a call for, some shadow work, which I'm sure you're doing right now, working with Lilith. But I got a Darth Vader helmet came out. Interesting,
Mm.
right? That's the darkness, right? But then I had this like purple bear. Purple to me is, spiritual, but also the two, like the bear's like opening its arms, like hug me. I don't know. Like there's nothing to hide. I'm just, this bear. But I feel like, you might have some, the red lights, those triggers that kind of go off inside, that might be blocking that. And it's funny, I got this like it's a little speaker uh sticker. And so, what do speakers do? They put out the sound like that. There comes that expression there too, that Heather was talking about because of the Queen of Swords. What she does, she speaks her truth,
Mm.
but she also, cuts things down that no longer serve her, right? But that's all learn about, speaking your truth. And you got my four-eyed cat, my four-eyed mystical cat. Like you're unique, you're special, and you've got, double. I mean, you can
and
see
Mozzie just
better.
joined us, and you pulled a kitty.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Oh, he can't.
Kiki.
Yeah, what that could be like the Bastet energy coming in now. Is that the yeah?
That
And
is.
that I was reading about, yeah, is about being also too like that playful side. Taurus came out. Okay. Taurus is a fixed sign. I'm a Taurus moon, but Taurus is sensuality too, and really feeling like your senses, not just sexually, but the way things taste, sounds, and textures and stuff. So you might get some added comfort out of that, and if you feel good, you are more confident too and can show yourself better, right? And Taurus is Venusian energy too. I mean, come on, think Venus and Aphrodite, right? And then I got these like little tarot cards that came out, which is perfect, with the moon on top. And it looks like the justice in the bottom. So I look at that as like balancing our feminine here. But it's time for you to bloom, my dear. It's time to bloom and be
Mm.
seen. Yeah, it's time. It's time. Um, and I was trying to pull you a gratitude quote, but yeah, like my ancestor sayings and something from a dream show came out. So, I mean, these are divine messages. Okay. I'll read this one first. And I think your ancestors want you to know this, Kristen. Okay. Did you know departed ancestors can communicate with us through dreams? If they contact us this way, it is often a sign that they are reaching out for help. So, whatever that means to you, okay? But I am supposed to deliver that. And this is from Laura Ingalls Wilder. But it is a way to live in gratitude. The true way to live is to enjoy every moment as it passes. And surely it is in the everyday things around us that the beauty of life lies.
Mm.
That's very Taurian too.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, you enjoy that security and everything, but it's also time to step back out and yeah, you can do
Alrighty,
this.
so let's see. She said, Kristen, let's see, let me back up a little bit. She's like, yeah, get naked. On the other card. But Kristen
Oh,
also
thank
says, I'm
you.
being interviewed. Whoops, wrong screen. There we go. I'm being interviewed by Bobby on the 2nd. I'm nervous about that whole truth speaking stuff. Girl, just be yourself. That's all. That's all you can. That's all you can do. Just be your true, authentic self. And Garnet just said,
Mhm.
Lawman Terrell, I believe he meant lost his cat tonight. Oh, was it
Oh,
Basil or the? I'm so
oh
sorry to hear
no.
that.
Oh,
Oh,
Um, Everybody loves
oh,
the charms, and Audra
thank
says the
you.
charms are almost as adorable as Karen's hairpiece.
Thank
And
you. And
Kristen says, I'll have to
got
pay
them back for you.
attention to my dreams. And beautiful message. Thank you, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
So
oh,
yeah, I have to reach out to Richie.
yes.
So our
Oh,
last reading of the evening. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tom, for hanging out this long. Let me give you over to Nancy. What's it got, Nancy, for Tom?
Well, I have never read for Tom, and
Really?
the cards that
I
I
thought
don't
you
think
did.
I have I
On the Divine Feminine, you have once, I think we read.
oh, okay. Okay. Well,
He's like, I'm here,
I've
I'm
got some
here.
interesting cards for you, Tom. You're here, yes. The goddess is the goddess Pele, and the card is the Tower.
Ooh.
And this is a card of upheaval in this deck. Um, Pele is a shapeshifter. Um, and this, I am assuming, is a volcano in Hawaii. But when I look at this card, I see like a groundbreaking transformation for you. Your old ways have served their time, and it's time for new ways to come, and it's time to transform. It will take courage. And I love the cards that came out for you. And you've got fire, and you have two cards with water or emotion. And I think this is beautiful. The courage card, because when I look at the Tower card, Tom, I mean, the Tower card does not frighten me. Some people get really uptight when they draw the Tower. And for me, it is an awakening transformation. And after I was evacuated during the flood, the first card that I drew was the Tower. And it was a Tower moment, but it was a good, it doesn't frighten you either. It was a good moment because I realized at that time what was truly important. And the final card that I got for you, Tom, is the card says pay attention. This is what it looks like. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing ultimately. But this card says you're being asked to pay extra close attention to the signs you're being given, both the subtle ones and the ones that can't be missed. These signs will help you see how to best move forward in order to live your best life. And living your best life is something to really feel gratitude over, because we want to reach our full potential. And so I think this is a very, very positive cards for you. And I love that for you, because you've got the fire and you've got the emotion of the water. And it balances out.
All right. Thank you, Nancy. So, Tom, you ready? Ready to give Uncle Tom his messages? Huh? We always like to share each other's kitties. So say hi to cousin Bosie and Grimly. Okay. All righty. So if I can do this, if he'll let me, where are you gonna go? Come on. Gonna get down? Or are you gonna help me? Make up your mind. What we gonna do? Here. How about we climb up there? There we go. Just don't stick your butt in the camera. Okay. So Tom, we got. So what does he do? We got Boudica for you. And look at that, picking up that sword. And a lot of us know the story of Boudica. She was she led her armies against the Romans and won multiple times until eventually the Romans won. But it says here, Boudica's fiery rebellion teaches us to confront the injustices and limitations that seek to confine us. And knowing you, this is what you do. You read everything, you challenge everything. You don't do group think. You feel and work and read and study and find what resonates with you. Is cat butt the star? No. Um, and so her title to this card is The Unconquered Flame. And this is about finding the inspiration to rise against oppressive forces and to fight for our freedoms. And even in the darkest moments, your voice matters and your actions can spark change. I love that, Tom. Reclaim your confidence, Tom. Do some more live shows, do some readings. But yeah, reclaim your confidence. You have the power to ignite the fires of change and create a brighter future. That's a really powerful message for you, Tom. And yes, it's the Encini. Yes, that's how we wrote it here. I think he wrote it a little bit differently. He used a different spelling, Garnet, for this deck. And then your tarot cards, Tom. I got the Nine of Wands, which is about feeling exhausted, feeling like tired, like you're worn out, but you're hanging on. Kind of that, he's still hanging in there after fighting the good fight, just like she did. And so to hang in there, it says, even though in his card he says, these weapons, are broken, are battered. They're still holding on, and he still has that one left in his mouth, and he's still galloping forward. So this is, tapping into those reserves, that energy, tapping into your self-confidence and the overall energy, Tom. The King of Pentacles, being focused on that, staying focused on what it is that you want to do, staying focused on, I think, maybe the positive, being great, have what it is to be grateful for, having work, having your wife, your beautiful fur babies. That's it. And so let me just back up. Your beautiful wife, Sam, your beautiful fur babies. You have the talent. You have an amazing reading for art. You have amazing talent for reading and for art. And so don't let these little distractions like a mouse or the fireflies, the moths. This owl is full of wisdom, is not distracted, staying on your course. In the book, the skull in the clock represents that, time is fleeting, to make most of your time. So being grateful for the time that you do have and celebrating that with those that you love, having confidence in life moving forward and in yourself. And that's what I have for you, Tom. And I'll give you over to Karen.
Okay. All right, Tom. So it is a time to call back your power. And Heather, Heather and Nancy might have to help me out with the pronunciation here.
That might be Thekla.
Thekla. Okay. Thekla. Yes. And look at the fire energy here. Yes. Look at the fire. Okay. It says, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. So, okay, the Hangman, this might be a theme going on right now, came out again, and I wanted to see what she said about the art. And the art here, like, is the crescent moon here. It's being held by that rope, so it needs to transition, but it can't, because what has to be sacrificed for the rope to let it go, for it to be able to continue in its phases. And see, there's these little wildflowers down here, and I believe that's something, to look at, like what there might be some type of price that you feel like you need to pay. And temperance, sometimes, we're not supposed to always stay here. We're always growing and evolving. Yes, it's about alchemy, right? And there's, the middle of the road, literally, like, the road, but there are mountains ahead here, right? But look at the crown on the top. It's like taking your power back. Like, you're trying to, figure out, I guess, maybe, like, how do you not anger people or whatever. And this is funny. This came out in the Hangman. I think this was like a message, like, I knew how to read this. It was very clear. Like, I put that little hatchet or the axe, the Minecraft axe. But like, yeah, she's like a little, yeah. She's got like that scorpionic vibe too, right? And but anyways, yeah, it's time to cut that. And look, I had literally the, like, almost like one of those little wildflowers come out by it. Like, you're not meant to. You need to move. You need to grow, right? It's time, because the Ace of Wands, fire. Yeah, like, go find or do something. You might already have something that you're wanting to do here, but it's time. And when this opportunity, is here, like, and to have it and harness, like, the Sagittarius is fire energy. Work with that, harness some of that optimism, and, I'm just going to go and do it. And go for it, because, you know what the Ace of Wands means. Like, it can go out very quickly too, right? I feel like maybe it might be time to, like, look at yourself, like, a little bit more, right? Don't feel guilty about it. I had a key come out, and it's funny because on the bottom of the deck was the Hierophant. It's like what we're supposed to do.
Perfect.
Blah, blah, blah. What am I supposed to do? And the key was below that. And, the hammer.
Hammer time.
It's a tool, right? Yeah. Like, get to work. Get to work there on that. Time is fleeting. Time is fleeting. And then I had, like, a little swan come out. And that's, I always think of them, they already have, like, a divine match too, right? But I mean, they're very, can be very territorial as well. Swans have been chased by them. I mean, you might need to, like, chase some people out just to go, or be like, this is for me. I've got to do this for me. You might need to be a little bit selfish, because I think you're onto something here. You're very
Einstein.
You're very smart. He's like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. And creation. I mean, you can't make this up, right? I mean, the Ace of Wands, creation, okay? And I know you do art and stuff too. I mean,
he's an amazing sculptor.
Yeah, light it up. In here, gratitude is the most powerful form of magic. I thought that was suiting,
And he said, I was just literally listening to Swan by REM about 15 minutes ago.
Okay, see, I wasn't really sure exactly why this came out, and there we go. This reading is for you, my friend. Confirmation. And swans might be a symbol to look into. Like, read about swans more.
I haven't heard that.
You might see one. Yeah. could be like a sign of something that's coming up. So, well, thanks for letting me read for you, friend.
Awesome.
I don't think I've ever did before. Yeah.
You know, when I see a swan, you know, they're so graceful and they're gliding, and underneath those legs are just pumping to get them where they're going. You know,
Allison sent me a video. I'll send it to you, Nancy and Karen, if you want it. It's a video. She likes to send me these little animal videos, and it was a swan that had to be removed from its mate from the pond it was at because it had gotten sick, and it was rescued, and they had to rehabilitate it, and they put the swan back into the water. And when each other saw their mates, they went right up to each other, their wings separated, and they started rubbing the sides of their faces and their necks. They were so happy to be back together.
Yeah, they make for life, don't they?
Yes.
And Tom says, this is a lot to take in, but this makes a lot of sense, even though there is a lot of pieces here. Yes. And he did mention earlier that all these readings were resonating in different ways, So we're glad that we were able to hopefully help you out on there. So Karen, thank you. We are at almost 7:00, but something else here.
These were really good.
But it speaks to a number of things that I have been on the precipice of doing or fixing and making some changes. Gotta hang in there, and some of that I've been working on. Awesome. Well, you can do it, my friend. You're that 9 of Wands. You hang in there. You still got that one in your mouth, and you're still galloping forward. So
Mr.
you have
Einstein.
what it takes. Just like that King of Pentacles. Just grab onto that little cuckoo that comes out of the clock and don't let go. Just stay focused.
This has been wonderful. Karen is good company.
She
I've enjoyed it.
So thank you for joining us. And Karen, really quick again, you have trinkets, charmed readings with Elizabeth and Ange on Thursday, right?
Or Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday, excuse me. Thursday's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thursday's Thanksgiving here. But but the day before Thanksgiving at 2. I was thinking about coming on my channel maybe sometime tomorrow, maybe talking more about Mercury Retrograde, or I don't know. It's just whatever I wake up feeling like doing, because I'm a Gemini, so my mind changes.
And we still got to set a date for Saggy too for upcoming.
Yes. And then we've got that ethics talk coming up too.
Yes, and on Ange's channel on
we're in the same one.
2nd, Ange is holding a ethics on tarot reading. She's got 2 days, 2 panels, 10 people each. Ange, I don't know how you're going to handle 10 of us all at once, but girl, if anyone can do it, you can. And we'll be talking about our perspectives on our personal ethics when it comes to reading for others. And
I think it's going to be a great conversation.
It's going to be a great conversation. And tomorrow I still have TTT with Rain and Jackie on Rain's channel. I'll probably do a pop-up maybe somewhere here or there. Nancy, you have anything planned with Ginger or
Absolutely
Farah?
Nothing.
Oh, she's just gonna.
And she's
I have to get up with Bobby, because when I was feeling poorly and I canceled, my with the cards that where he goes through the major arcana, and so I have to get up with Bobby, but I don't have anything planned right now. Ginger hasn't been feeling well. She has a live tonight, but
I saw that with Bobby
for the weekend, and we canceled so that she could rest. So,
gotta do it. Yeah.
So at 7:00, Bobby and Ginger are going live over on Bobby's channel. So, and I'm sure Ginger will probably be simulcasting. So make sure to drop by, show her some of that YouTube love, and help her out. Ladies, thank you again. It was
really enjoyed it
always. And if I don't see everybody in chat, which I will see some of you, of course, in the upcoming week, but if I don't, to others, have a beautiful and safe Thanksgiving.
Yes, I'm very
Black Friday.
For everybody in chat, and for
and remember,
that's what I wanted to say too. Thankful.
Gratitude. The day before Black Friday and all that is the day of gratitude. Appreciate what we have. So let's be careful we don't go knocking anybody over.
Yeah, it's not worth that, right?
I have done Black Friday on Amazon. I'm doing my
Mhm.
Christmas shopping right now, but I have never been to a Black Friday sale. I can't imagine.
I had to work them. Not
Oh my
fun.
goodness. I just
Not fun.
can't imagine.
Mm-mm,
I
mm-mm.
have like gone through Walmart and seen them setting up for like the
Mhm.
next day or a few days later. But not me.
Nightmare. I used to be scared of Shan because he would work midnights, and he's still there when they would open the doors, and
Mm.
sometimes you see people getting trampled and
Oh
people
my
getting into
goodness.
fights and stuff. I'm like, please come home to me
Crazy
safely.
fighting over
Oh.
stuff. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's
hello,
ridiculous.
Madame Maru. Thank
Hi,
you,
Maria.
thank you. Yeah, I don't. Nope.
Yeah.
That's why I went to the art supply store today in Buffalo to get a couple of things for my cards that I'm making, and not after this Friday because it's going to be insane now for the
Oh
rest
yeah.
of
Oh
the
goodness.
season.
Oh, yeah. I have no patience for that.
And you are so welcome, Peace Mama.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
And everybody, we're going to end. Ready, Mozzie? We're going to say goodbye. Bye.
Mwah.
Yeah, we
Good
say
night,
goodbye.
everybody.
All right. Good
Night.
night. Whoops. If I can get it to come down here where it says end stream. There. Whoop. There we go. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.